Liam, do any of your friends who have kids ever tell you, well, this is what I did when I was a dad, or this is what I did when they were growing up? I know Louis, like, who has kids around you that?
Me and Louis speak about it quite a lot. I mean, from our perspective, actually, for me and my ex, when we first had Bear, and like after a few weeks, I don't know what Cheryl did at the time, but she got him in this beautiful sleeping pattern. He was sleeping, and I was like, I don't know what the fuss is all about. Like, what are you guys talking about? And people used to come to our house, and they'd be like, how on earth have you done that? Like, how have you made it work? Because people were like, he's just so. We were very blessed with and lucky with having Bear because he's so calm. There's no volume involved. Like, he throws his toys out the pram every so often, like a little bit. Of course, kids do, but he's been a blessing so far. So for me, it was like it was quite easy at the start in a sense. Louis just phones me up every so often. It's comforting hearing from another dad who's obviously outside the situation and has to visit and go in and out of it, and hearing the dynamic of the things going on with them and what happens in that way. And his son's a tiny little bit older than mine, so I kind of get a lot of the different lessons and different things off him in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Do your kids actually listen to any of your old music that you had with the group? He hasn't heard Midnight, but does he like any? He hasn't
heard Midnight yet, but I'm gonna send a text to his mom and make sure she plays it to him. But he used to be like my decider of whether the song was going to like sink or swim, because when like Familiar and different things came out, he was like doing the full on baby rave in the house and whatever. I was like, it's really cute actually. And he would like, when I went over one time about a couple of months ago now, and I was babysitting because she'd gone out somewhere to somebody's party, and he was like, well, put music on. And I was like, okay, we'll put some music on. So I went over and started turning the music on. I put like a song on, and it was one I thought was one of his favorites. He was like, oh no, this is not Daddy's music. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, it's not Daddy's music. And I was like, he's like, play Daddy's music. And as soon as I started playing Stack It Up, whatever, he's dancing around the house. And I thought, this is just the best thing ever. Like, it's so good. I actually haven't got a chance to see him in a while. So FaceTime's been a big one, which is a lot, missing out on these moments is never nice. And especially when you're in the country. I mean, I'm used to missing him in some senses because I have to work on the road quite a lot, but this one feels a little bit strange, and it's the longest time that I haven't seen him. And he's just turned 3. It was his birthday recently, and I feel like we missed out on the Terrible 2 scenario where they have Terrible 2s and they all start going crazy, whereas now like 3s have come in and then everything's like, I came on FaceTime the other day and it was so funny. He just turned around and was like, no, I don't want to talk to Daddy right now. And I was like, oh, okay, I've never heard that before. But I like it. He's got his own attitude. I mean, I came on FaceTime another time and he was on a trampoline with the princess dress on, with a fireman's coat on and a pair of Wellington boots, playing a ukulele. Like, it couldn't get more random. And I was like, yes, this is what my child was destined to be.
This is my kid. I love him so much.
I was like, I know you are like 90% me. His favorite song at the moment, which has been for a while, is Sunflower, Post Malone, which he sings quite a lot of. Thank you. Which is really great. Yeah, it's. I don't know if I'd ever get him involved in doing this bit, because no, it'd be quite cute actually. It'd be cute. It'd be funny to watch, because he has this like weird little mumble things where like he says things that he thinks they sound like. So like half the lyrics like completely wrong, but it's funny to listen to for sure. I get sent a lot of videos of him standing in the house singing, but he's definitely like, he's a proper performer, which in one side of my mind really scares the hell out of me, and then the other side I'm like really excited about. So yeah, I'll have to see if he, I actually don't know if he digs the song yet. He hasn't heard it, so I'm gonna have to get it sent over and see what he does.
And he's got the perfect name. He's ready to be an artist. Just saying.
Legit. That wasn't meant that way, by the way. I mean, for me and my ex-partner Cheryl, I mean, for both of us, we think there's beauties to this side of being famous and being in this position and doing something that you love, but there's also a lot of different sides to it as well. So I think you worry for that in your child as well, now that you're very close to something and you've experienced it in the ways it affected you. But the thing for me is you got to, let them choose their own dreams and see which paths they want to go on, and only help them along with that sort of stuff rather than push them in certain directions. So yeah, it's definitely a talking point a lot of the time for us. That we're always like, what happens if this happens? What do we do next?
And that's the beauty of being a parent. You're figuring it out.
That is it.